I'm sharing my screen with you. Okay. So as you can see, this is the back end of a website. I'm going to show you what this website looks like in real life. Uh, I'm bringing it on. So I want to show you what that website looked like before we start developing our own. Okay, really complete. Just completed this website today. As you can see, in fact, I'm still working on it. I just completed this contact page tonight. So yeah, this is the front end of the website. I just want to break down the back end, break down the dashboard for you right now using this website as a sample. Then we can start developing our own from the scratch. But I think it's a very good thing, and it will easily help you to understand and grab what we are saying if we use a live website. So this is a website developed for a musician in Canada that I'm going to um, use as a sample for you to explain what the dashboard looks like and what it means and how to do all of these animations, do all of these things. So I'll start with this contact page. I have a contact page here. This page that you are seeing, please, what is it called? I want to be sure we're on the same page.
Dashboard. Dashboard.
Okay, dashboard, good.
Dashboard.
And for those of you who has a dashboard now, is this similar to what you have?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Very good. So that means we are good to go. So I explained to you what posts, medias, pages, um, appearance, themes, and plugins. I explained to you what their functions are. Can somebody differentiate between a page and a post? Just to refresh our memory before, because that is what we are dealing with tonight. We are going into the practical aspects of it. Can somebody explain what just the difference between differentiate between a page and a post?
Sir, I didn't
Anyone?
get that part, sir. Could you please?
Okay, yeah, I want someone to differentiate between a page and a post.
Next day, okay, okay, we need to buy data now from the hotel. Okay, and okay. So
I
you
think a
they need
page
to
is
buy
the
this, they will like
maybe
to buy.
landing page, like
So in
the
the next day, I know I was like,
a,
so
a page.
when we
I don't know how to put it.
put my phone,
Okay, I'm with you.
like come out, I was like, how come? I didn't
Can
say
can I
anything.
try?
Yeah, please try.
Okay. I think a page is like from that page you can get your which are the navigation bar, the about us, the contact us, the maybe the privacy policy and the terms and conditions and all of that. Then the post maybe talking the the things you the contents you put online, like the written contents. I think
Yeah,
that's different.
huh?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
you
want
all tried.
to. Yes, I think it's the page that include all the visual elements like button, text, image, and menus.
Okay. Yeah. So you all tried, but I'm going to give you a broader understanding of what a page does and what post also does. But before we go into that, I saw that two people did their assignments, and that is what I'm trying to bring up now so that we can deal with all of these things first. Okay. Now, so back to what a page and a post is. A page is basically that part of the website that is static. It can either be the home page, it can either be the about us page, the lifestyle, bibliography, gallery, contacts, our services, all of those pages that you can see on the menu tab, those are pages. And their contents are static, except that you update it anytime you want to. But a post goes inside a page. Take, for example, a blog. Let's find a website that has a blog, a comprehensive blog, CP's Mobile Wash, for you to understand what a post does. So, post allows you to give functionalities like a blog. That is, you have a specific content that you are posting out maybe on daily basis or on weekly basis or monthly or annually. And then it's going to bring out the date of the post, although you can remove the date and the time. And but a post stacks on each other according to the sequence, just the way you are posting it. So this is a blog on a website. So I posted this, I did this now, January 19, 2021. I also I did this one July 19, then this July 18, 2021. So this is a page. This is a blog page. The name of this page is blog. Inside this page, you now have a post. So if you click on this now, you can easily read. This is a post, a blog post inside a page. So a post can be inside a particular page, and you can decide to change the page from blog to another page. But that page must be a static page that can hold several posts. So that is what posts are, and a page is that static page that you have for specific items on your website. Take for example a contact us page. What you get from there are means to get in touch with that business owner, either a call or their address. You can even add contacts, you can even add map, then you can even add a form for them to fill and they can get in touch. And then it is termed as the most important page on the website because that is the part of the website where your client gets to take specific action. In fact, the major CTA button, call to action button on your website directs to the contact page so that they can easily take action from there and you can capture their details and from there continue to interact with them. So those are pages, and an home page is also a form of page. So all of those things that you see on the menu, they are pages. So tonight, before we go into the main day tonight, we also talked about okay, we also talked about plugins, and then we made to understand in the last class that it is that particular aspect of dashboard of WordPress dashboard that gives you that allows you to add certain functionalities, extra functionalities, and like an add-on service, extra functionalities to your website to perform whatever you want to task you want to perform. So I asked you to come up with 10, make a research online and give us 10, at least 10 plugins that perform certain functions. Now we have somebody who two people submitted the assignment. This person wrote use SEO as the first, then up draft plus. But I just want to be sure that this guy did not just post copy all of these things from online. So I'm just going to ask this person a question. Omonike, this is your assignment. So can you tell us what Elementor does? Elementor.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't really go through because I was actually doing something.
Okay, you actually just copied
Yes,
it.
yeah,
Okay.
yes, I did.
Now, Elementor is one part, one very, in fact, it is what we are working with tonight. Elementor is a page builder. If you want to build a page, that was why I had to walk you through, remind you on what pages means and what posts also means, because tonight we are dealing with pages. In fact, we are creating a page, a web page tonight. So it is very important for you to understand what pages are and what posts are, and also for you to understand what we are going to be using to develop those all of the pages we are building tonight. This is Elementor. Elementor is a page builder. Let me show you their main website, Elementor website, for you to see elementor.com. So what we got from them was to purchase their plugin, but right now we are going to be using the free one. In fact, I'm using the free one, except for clients who would request for extra functionalities, and we'll ask them to purchase the premium plugin. So if you have a client that wants certain functionality, extra add-on services, then you tell the client to either go ahead with purchasing the plugin on themselves, or you build them, whichever way you want to do it. Just bear it in mind that your client bears the cost of plugins and not you. So what we got from Elementor is their plugin, and that is what we integrated with your website. So the simple way to get Elementor is you go to plugin, go to add new, over on your plugin, and go to add new, and then here you type Elementor. Just type Elementor. So from this place you can get all kinds of, can you see, because I have already installed it. So because I've not installed all of these things, can you see install now? So easily you can click on install now and you install your Elementor. So Elementor is a page builder. Let's read what is written here. The Elementor website builder has its all drag and drop page builder, pixels, perfect design, mobile responsive editing, and more. So the only thing it does is it allows you to drag and drop certain elements of your website and then bring them together. So that is the function of Elementor for you. Sorry, I need to. So that is the function of Elementor page builder for you. And then I also explained to you the functions of pages. Pages are those static ones on the menu that you can easily create. So tonight, let's create, okay, I need to use a different, let us use, what we want to do tonight is to recreate a particular page of this website. Let's find
Hi,
it.
good evening. Sorry, please, is this recorded?
Yes, this is recorded.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want us to start on a very low terrain. Let's find a very simple website to develop. Okay, very good. Uh, can we develop something like this tonight? Yes. I don't want to see it as impossible. So let's develop something like this tonight. Yeah, a static one. And then it's also going to have video. We are going to have video. We're going to have all of these inside. So let's get started. I'm logging into the dashboard that we are using. Just a minute. Where's my phone? So we are creating it on this dashboard. So I'm logging into my WP admin. Just the same way you can have your admin. For those of you who already has an admin, it's as simple as that. Input your username and your password and you log into your dashboard. So we are starting afresh. Right now, I want to create a new page. So I'll simply go to pages, over on pages, and you have add new. Click on add new. Okay, so this is the part of the dashboard where you can give your page a name. and where you can also do some basic settings of your page, like your SEO, write-ups, add images, add contact, then also add change the URL and some other things. The visibility, do you want it to go public now, or you still want it to remain with you private? So this is that function of the page creation where you can do all of those things. So we are just going to give this website that we are building, we are going to give it a name. Let's call it no code training webs training. Yeah, just no code training. Yeah, and then the only thing you may want to do here is visibility is in public. Leave it as public. Do you want to publish immediately? Yes, you want to publish immediately. Just leave it that way. Then the URL, if you click on this place, on this URL, you will see that you already have borderlesskills.com/ no code training. So whatever your domain name is, because you are creating a page on it, it's going to give you that slash and continue with the name of that page as a continuation of your URL. Then the templates you are using, do you want to use default templates or you want to use Elementor full width? So because we are using Elementor page builder, you can easily say you are using Elementor full width. And then if you are not really, concerned about whichever page builder you are using, you can just decide to leave it as default. But for the purpose of this meeting, of this class, we're going to be using Elementor full width. Then all of these things, they are your SEO. Just leave all of those for now. Now, inside this SAP, which is what your SEO will capture. SEO means search engine optimization. It simply means those how search engine, Google Console will have access to your content, the content on your website, and from there be able to capture in details of your website. And whenever anybody searches for something relating to your website, then it can easily display those content for them on Google. So we're just going to write something about no code training. This is a test version. Um, okay, so let's just leave it that way. You may decide not to write anything here, but if you are really concerned about SEO, it is good and very advisable that you write something in there that has to do with what that page really uh, stands for. So we're good to go. The next thing you do is you come over here and you publish. Do you want to publish immediately? Yes. So you can see all of your listing, and then from there just click on publish. We are publishing. Now page published. You can decide to view it right now. I'm going to right click on it and view right now, and then you will see it is empty. Can you see the page is empty except for the footer that was inherited? I think I need to, so that I don't get you confused. Let's change this to uh one page template so that we don't get you confused with the footer. Although you still need to, sorry, you still need the Elementor. So what we are going to do next is click on edit with Elementor. That is, you want to edit that page with Elementor. So simply come over here and then click on edit with Elementor. Don't worry, we'll still deal with footer and header, how to do footer and how to do header. Let me explain what a footer means. On a website, you have different sections. This first part of the website, this first section, is what we call words. I explained that in the last class. What is the name of this first section?
The navbar.
Okay, this first section is an header. It is inside the header that you now have the navigation bar. That is nav bar. So navigation means access to different pages on the website. That is where you have all of these links that directs you to different pages of the website. So all of this section now, this first section is what we call the nav bar. It may not be transparent. You can decide not to make yours transparent like this, but this is just a unique type of design. That is, you want it to be transparent so that everybody can view. But if you move forward, then it can easily turn to white so that you can scroll down. So there are different types. This is another one. You see, you can see that this is just a white one. It is not transparent. So that is what we call a nav, an header that contains the logo, that contains the nav bar, and that also contains the call to action button. This is a search button that you can easily use to search through whichever content you want to search on the website. So we are still going to deal with creation uh, of header, and also deal with the last page, the last section, which is the footer. So the purpose of the header is the first section of a website, while the footer is the last section on the website. So the purpose of the header is to be able to direct you to navigations and for you to also know what website you are. That is where you see their brand logo, their brand color, and all of those things. And that is where you see call to action message button. And the nav bar, the footer is also for the purpose of letting you understand that, oh, you are at the end. Once you get to the end of the website, then you also have an idea of why you have been on that website. Just tell you just a brief of them. Have access to their social media links, have access to the same, or some important pages on the website that you may want people to really go to. Then they also have access to contact you and all of those things, and you can easily subscribe. So there are different ways you can decide to build your footer. In fact, you may decide not to have all of these things there. Take for example, let me show you another website, japademy.io. You don't have. I decided to remove the footer because we want people to concentrate on taking action at the body of the website. So I decided to remove all of the footers. You can see this is the header, similar to what you have in all of those ones I showed you. And then the last section, can you see we don't have any footer? Okay, this one you are seeing is just it's very important you have this one just to tell people that okay, this website belongs to Japademy, which is very important. And then we needed to direct them to our social media pages, so we added the social media links. But because the major reason we decided to remove footer was because we needed them to take action on this section. So we don't want to give them confusing links and just give them opportunity to wander away on the website. So we want their attention to be concentrated on the action button, which is to get in touch. So that was major reason for removing the footer. But it depends on the kind of projects you are working on for you to decide whether your project requires a footer or not. But one thing that is very important and must be static is your header. So after your header, the next section that you have on the website, which is the first page that you land, that first page that you land on your website is what we call the hero section. The hero section comprises of, because it is the first page where people are going to land, the first section where people are going to land on your website, we realize that we are in a very fast world, in a very fast generation where people want to do things very quickly. They want to get information on the websites very quickly and then do stuff very quickly. So it is very important for you to allow people have access to the basic information, the summary of what your website really is on your hero section. So your hero section must contain an image that tells them, that gives them an idea of what that website is really about. Captions and header, this is an heading that tells them what services you're offering. Tells them the major thing you are doing, and you can also give them a short description, then a call to action button for them to take specific action, whether to contact you, whether to fill a form, whether to see more of your services, whether to read more about you or whatever you want them to do. So then we have all kinds of hero section depending on the projects you are working on. We can see now that we have this image at the bottom. We have it at the background of this hero section. But if you look at other websites, okay, we also have this. We also have this one at the background of the hero section with a gradient overlay on it. That is another type. Then if you look at this, you realize that, moving to this next slide. Okay, let's refresh this. I want you to see different types of hero section. Now, this kind of hero section, now you see we have the images stacked at one side, the heading, the header at the other side, a short summary there, and a button. Because I gave it a very fast timer, so that is why it is changing automatically from one slide to the other. But I think we need to work with a static one. Let's go over to a static academy.uminternet.com. This has a static. Okay, so this page gives you access to a static home page. You can see we have the image here because the website is all about offering caregiving certification to people. So that way you have to use an image that portrays caregivers, that shows caregivers taking care of the elderly ones or anything that has to do with what the website is really about. Then you have the heading, you have the paragraph, then you also have this call to action button for them to start the course. So it follows with whatever content you want to do on your website. So generally, the steps or the natural arrangements of your home page should be your heading, your hero section next. Then you can decide to give them our mission, our vision, our values, depending on the kind of UI UX design you're working with. Then the next thing is about you, about that brand. And after that, you want to show them your services. After they've been able to read about that business, then you want to show them few of your services. You can then give them link. If those services are too many that you cannot display them on the home page, you can now give them a link that takes them to a page, our services page. So if you click on that button, it directs them to our services page. Can you see now a new page entirely where they can now get to see more about all of the other services that you offer. Then you can decide to continue your page the way you want. But it is advisable that you don't have too long home page. Split it into different pages so that you can give people link to go to the whichever page they want to view. So tonight, let's get started. We already created our um, I don't. I think you probably must have missed this aspect. So I'm going back to where we edited our page. Remember, we clicked on edit with Elementor. So I'm going to click on edit with Elementor again because we want to get started.
Sir,
Just
please.
hold on for.
Sir,
Yeah, with you.
sir, we don't have Elementor thing.
Do you have a dashboard?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I said go to turn on your data. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Turn on your data. Go to plugin, just the same way I did the other time. I went there.
Yeah.
Go to plugin. Let me show you from here. Go to plugin, click on add new. Let's click on add new. Let's try and get it again. When you click on add new, search for Elementor. Search for Elementor. So you will have something like this, Elementor website builder. Just install it. That is all. So did you go through that process?
Yes, I tried installing it. Said installation error.
Installation error. Okay, if
Yes,
you
sir.
are unable to install it, what you do is, let me show you another way to get through that. let me show you another way to get through that. Simply go to Elementor website and download their free plugin. Let's find where you can get it. I'll probably I can send that plugin to the group so that everyone can download it from there. Okay, you only have their add-on there. Okay, what is going to happen is I'm going to upload the plugin for you on the group. But if you want to download, the best way to download it is you go over to your plugin and you download from there. You install it directly from there. That is the best way to download the Elementor plugin. I don't even think they have it on their website. Yeah, yeah, they don't have it on their website. So it has been integrated with Elementor, uh, with your WordPress dashboard. So that is where you're going to get it from. But let's continue with the class. We'll deal with that after. So what we are doing now is we now have access to our Elementor. When we click on edit with Elementor, it brings us to this page where we now have all the elements. So whatever, this is a blank page, a blank website we want to build. Whatever it is now that we want on this page is what we'll start developing. So what we are building now is we are trying to build something that looks exactly like this. We're trying to build all of these things. So the reason for trying to build a ready built website is because we need access to content. We need to, copy content from there. Although I'll see talk to you about generating content for that sell, how you can start generating content for clients and also for your own personal business. We talk about that towards the end of the class. So the major reason for us now coming over to this website is because we can have access to copy all of these things and do the same on our own page. So before we get to that stage, I will need to explain, before we start building, I will need to explain some basic uh, things about this website for us. On this section, this is a section. Okay, just like we said, that the header is a section, the hero section is a section on its own. Now, this from here down to this side, like this, is a section. So under this one section, we have three columns: one, card two, card three. They are columns. So you will see what that means now. Now, on this on this page, you also have we have two sections here. This is a section. This is another section. Under this section, we have two columns. One column holding the image, another column holding the text. Here we also have two sections, two columns. One column holding the image, another column holding the text. The same thing here. And here now we have a video, which means just one section occupying a video. The video is occupying is a complete section. Here we have an image, which means this all of this now are one section. We have one image occupying one column, and we also have this text in a card occupying another column. Here we have a single column with a background and text and buttons over it. So this now from here down all through is a section with four columns. This is one column, second column, the first column, second column, third column, and the fourth column. So that is just to explain to us what sections and columns are. So if you are starting now, it means I want to start with this for us to be able to understand what sections are. Or let's start with the simplest. This is the simplest before we build these complex ones. This is the simplest. So I want to show you the simple way to build a section like this. We're going straight to our development page. Now, if you click on this plus, it will give you access options to select how many structures do you want. That is, how many columns do you want on your section. Now go back to what you want to design. You can see, like I said, we have two columns in this simple section. 1, 2. So all you need to do is come here and select the one that has 2 columns. I've just selected it now. Can you see it is here? The first one here is an image. So what you do is drag, come to this side. On this panel is where you have all of the elements that you want to use to build your website. Whether you want to insert text, heading, you want to insert image, you want to insert video, you want to insert button. That is what we call it, drag and drop. That is why Elementor is being called the drag and drop page or website builder. Whatever it is that you need, if you need Google Map, just drag and drop. If you need a WP form, a form, just drag and drop. If you need an icon, just drag it and drop. It's as simple as that. So whatever it is you want to build, just drag it and drop it. That's all. Now we need an image, right? Based on what we are developing, we need an image. So let's simply drag it, drag an image. We just drag an image. An image is the placeholder that is going to hold the before moving to the second column. We need the image. So let me download this image. Save image. I'm downloading the image from this website so that we can also upload it on this. Okay, I just downloaded the image. Now come back to your place. You've dragged image placeholder inside this column. All you need to do is click on it, choose image. That is, choose an image that will replace what you have here. So simply come to choose image, click on choose image, image, upload files, click on upload file. That is, you want to upload a new file. Select the file. So you come to download and then simply find that file. This is the file we just downloaded, this image. So click on open. Allow it to download. Allow it to download. Then insert media. So your image is already inside. That one is set. If you want to build, if you want to close this panel where we are dragging and dropping, where we are editing, you can easily come over here and so that you can have a full view of what you just did. So let's take it back. Now we want to fill in this other column. Here, this is, don't forget, this is a column, a single column, one column, second column. But inside this column, we have multiple text structures. We have this first one, which is smaller to this. So we can time this, because I don't want us to learn much about coding. I will have walked us through what an H1, H1 is, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. H1 is the biggest text on your website. You can tag it as H1. So the smaller it becomes, the way the H1, H2, H2 is smaller to H1, H3 is smaller to H2, and so on and so forth. So we want to bring in this commercial washing. So I'm just going to copy it. We are only copying the text. So we want to fit it in here. What you do now is this type of text is an header. Is the boldest text on that column. So you simply come over here and drag heading, drag it inside. Can you see? Click on this button that is for you to edit, and come back here to this left side, so that you can paste your text inside. Can you see? What color do they use there? They use black. So let's also change the color. Come to style. inside content, you were able to paste. See, you can write. Can you see the way I'm writing inside the box? It's also changing inside the website, so you can easily do that. Now we want to change the color to black. You come to style, come to text color. Here you can style. You can now style your text or style whatever you want to style. You can style the color. You can style the typography, change the type of typography. We've dealt with typography, so you understand what typography means. You can easily change the typography. Let's choose enter. Yeah, can you see? We just change the typography. If you want to use cursive, for us to understand, for those who doesn't understand what typography means, can you see? You just change it to cursive. So you can do whatever you want to do from here. But then let's return it back to the Roboto. Roboto is also a good font by Google. So we're back to Roboto. Now let's change the color. We can change the stroke. You know, whatever it is you want to change. You can add shadow to it. But then I don't advise that, or else you want to have a very bad UI, user interface. Yeah. So let's change this color to black. Just click on the color. You can be able to, move to whatever color you want. If you want red, simply move it to red, and you see, can you see it is changing? You can change your color. If you want green, simply move it to green, and your color is already changing. If you come here, you can see that your color is changing. If you want blue, move it to blue. The lighter you move here, the lighter it becomes. So that is just the way. But we want black. So let's come to black. Black is #0000. If you do design, you understand what those ones means. But for the purpose of this class, let's just focus on dragging from the color palette. So now you have black. But so that you can be able to save this color for future use, anytime you are developing, you just want to be able to use that color. Just come to plus and then rename that color. At least you want to save that color for subsequent use. Black, rename it as black. Great. So we've just created a black. So if you come here now, you can see we have black. You see, we have already created some colors here. We now have black. If your own color is, maybe you want to create a color that has to do with maybe purple. No. Okay, let's create yellow. Let's create, assuming you want to use yellow color. You can decide to. So assuming what color we want to use is yellow. Just come to plus and then change this to yellow. Great. Now, if you come back here, you will see that we already have yellow. So if I want to change it back to black now, I don't need to go back to this color palette again to choose. I'll simply come here and choose that black that we created. And you see automatically it's changed to black. Now, let's go back to our image. You can see that this commercial version is bolder. So it's bigger than this. So we can easily come to typography and increase the size. Can you see? Just increase the size. Now we want to come back to this. We need this. Before we do that, let's do this. This is a paragraph. So all you need to do is head back to what you are developing over here. You will see text editor. So text editor is what you use to input normal text, different from heading. Just drag it inside. All this direct, if some is we call it a demo, just demo text, just for you to understand that okay, this place is holding a text, and then we'll paste. I'll just copy and I've already copied and pasting that content inside. Now we want to deal with this bespoke cleaning service. I'm just copying it now. I'm also going back to this same place. You can decide to use heading and you can decide to use text editor, but I'm going to use heading. All you need to do all you need to do at this stage is now perform the same task, copy and paste. But then we need to make it look exactly like this. So that means you'll be reducing the size. Come to style, reduce the size, and then change the color to blue. We have blue here. Okay, there is this there is this plugin that you need to install on your PC, on your Google or your browser. Just search for add-on what font. What font allows you to know what kind of font is being used on the website. So they use Inter 600 width and the color. You can be able to easily copy the color. That is if you want to steal other people's ideas on their website. Just use that tool. Now I'm going back to what we're building. I'm going
Please,
to
please, what do you say the name of the tool is?
okay, what fonts? The name is what fonts? WHAT fonts.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It allows you. Its function is it allows you to know what is being used on the website. Take for example, now you want to know the weight of this and the font used, and you also want to know the color. So that is the function. Okay, so we are going back. Now I've just pasted the color code. We call it the hexadecimal color code. I've just pasted it. So I want to add, because we are going to be using that same color in almost every areas of the website. So it's better we save that color for future use. Just save it as blue. Great. Now we have that color in there. So we've successfully built. Can you see now that if you click here, it means you have a blue line around all of this, which is telling you that this is a single section. And inside the section, you now have two boxes. This is the first one, and this is the second one, which is telling you that okay, uh there are two columns. Now, inside this column, now you have the different kinds of elements. You have the heading elements. You also have the paragraph, the text editor, and all of those. So it's as simple as that. And inside this one, you only have one element inside. You have the image placeholder. So there's one other thing I noticed that I realized that there is space between this bestow clinic service and commercial washing. So what we want to do now is we also want to add space. How are you going to do that? Come back to your elements, come to spacer, just drag space. You need a space, so drag a spacer, just drag it and drop it inside. Can you see? So the more you increase it, the more the space becomes, and then the more you reduce it, the lesser it becomes. So we need a close space. So all of these things that you have done, if you close this page, they are all gone until you update. So you will see that the page we have is empty. Can you see it is empty? So let us update. Let's click on update and see if it's going to display. Now, successfully updated. It has changed from green to gray. So you can easily click on preview changes. If you don't want to refresh that same page, you can, if you don't want to, if you refresh it now, it will show those changes. Can you see? It is showing those changes that we made. So we're already building our website now. But if you also don't want to use the static page, you can click on preview changes. That way, as you are building it and updating, automatically it is showing. So you have the same thing there. So that is the first section that we're building. Now let us build this reverse one. It's just the same procedure. Just the same procedure. You can, if you are very good, now let's assume you're already a professional. All you need to do is duplicate this particular section. Can you see? Now edit section, which means that this is a section. Now duplicate this particular section, turn it into two. Can you see? We now have two sections. And then all you need to do now is bring this drag this corner to this side. Can you see that we now have it duplicate? Now we need a space. We need a space. So all you need to do is create another section that is going to hold your space. At this stage now, you only need one section because you only need a spacer, a single spacer. So just click on one section and simply bring your space. That is a spacer. Download it. No, just drag it and drop it inside. You have a space. So the wider you want the space to become, the more you increase the space button from here. So easily now you can copy whatever you want to do from here. Copy. Let's copy this and put it in there. Click on it, edit. So if you hear people say, "Oh, this bespoke cleaning service are the same all through," so all you need to do is just copy these ones. Copy agricultural washing, paste it. Copy this, paste it. Now we also need to change this image. So let's go over to download this image. Save image. Okay, so just come over, click on the same image on the edit icon, and then choose image. That is, you want to select the image you want to use. Click on upload files, select the file, find the file in your file manager, click on open, and you allow it to load. You allow it to load, and then you insert media. So let's check if we have something similar to. So can you see now that we have something similar to this? So now we also want to do this particular section that looks exactly like the one up here. So the only thing you need to do now is, okay, I want to hear from you. What do you think we can do from here? We need another section that looks exactly, we need we want to build this section now. So if you hear that people build websites in a day and you get paid 500K, 600K, whatever, this is how simple it is. Once you know all these tricks, you easily work faster. So who's telling us, what do you think we are going to do at this stage?
Yeah, so
You can
we
just
can.
you can just duplicate the first section we have, then we drag it down below the second section we
Perfect.
did.
Perfect. So you can easily come here, duplicate this section, duplicate, and then just hold on it and drag it down. That is why we call it drag and drop. You can drag it from end. Can you see? We just dragged. But we also need a space. So click on plus. That is, you want to add another section, add another section, and then drag your spacer inside that section you just created. Check the number of space number you gave to the first one, 77, so that it can be even. Then also give it 77. So it's as simple as that. Now let's try to, okay, let's start filling it up. Let's download this. I just downloaded that. Now let's copy this. Now we want to fix, we are changing the text. Changing the text.
Excuse me, what site are you using for us as an example? What's the name?
Okay, CP's mobile watch. I think I should drop it. Let me just drop it on the group now. I'm dropping it on the group right now. Okay, so let's copy our paragraph and then we paste. Yeah. So we want to change the image now. We're going to choose image, upload files, residential slider, and you open. Allow it to load. From this stage, you can also set your SEO. You can give it alternate text. That is, for those who cannot see, who always use text to speech. Once they get to that image, the text to speech machine will tell them this image is for so. And then whatever caption you are using here, that is, you can describe that image inside this caption and also give a description. That is what Google is going to capture. Those are the things Google will capture so that your website can be more visible. Now we just inserted the media and then we have the three sections. So let's update. If you realize that we don't have the third one here because we have not updated it. So the moment I update, you're going to have it loading. Now you can see we have the three sections. We have the three sections. So what else do we want to build? Uh, we want to add YouTube link. So you can the next thing you have to do is to click on this plus. This YouTube link is just occupying a single it's occupying a single section. So all you need to do is also create a single section from here, just one section, not two, not three, not four, just one single section. And then come back to where you select your elements, drag video. Can you see video? Drag video and drop it inside. Now you have a demo video from there. So this is where you can change links. So let's go to YouTube and try to find a video that you can use. If we don't want to use their video, let's just find any video. Just for you to see how easy it is to add video. Let's go to YouTube. Let's just copy out any. Okay, let's copy out. Let's assume we want to add Hallelujah Challenge. Copy out the URL. Copy out the URL of that video. Come back to the link. This is where you change the link and then paste it. So immediately can you see you have Hallelujah Challenge video displayed on your website. So if you are wondering how I was able to develop this site, let me show you. Okay, you can see this site. That is the same strategy we use to display this man's video. And this is just a button that takes you to the YouTube to explore all of the videos. So same way you can see I added Spotify. So all of these things, they are just the same strategy. You can see this is just so here now we have two sections. This is we have a section with two columns. The first column is occupying the video. The second column is occupying this text. And inside this column, we have the heading, a paragraph, and we also have a button inside. So let's assume we want to add buttons. Let's assume we want to add buttons to. Now you can see this is too close. We need a space. So come to plus, add a space, add a spacer. If you don't want to waste your time, you can easily come over here, come to the spacer you use and copy it. You can copy the same spacer and then you paste it inside. I'm just giving you fast tips. And you see we have it. So you don't have to, really start doing all those things from the beginning. So I really want you to know all of these fast gimmicks and then be able to apply them on your own website. Now let's also we want to add buttons. We want to add buttons to all of here, maybe to the edge of this thing. You can easily drag your button and place it inside. But because let's just focus on the page we are developing. Let's focus on that. We've suddenly added video. Now we want to add something like this. We want to build something like this, which may seem a bit complex, but I don't want to see that as if it is complex. Just let's start. Let's continue with it. So I'm going to save this image because we need it. Save this image, and then we will need all of these things. So how many sections how many sections are we creating to be able to achieve this? How many sections?
Two, sir.
A section, two columns.
How many sections? I want you to understand how many sections
One
and how
section,
many columns?
one section, two columns.
Yes, one section. All of this means a section. All of these are a section, and we have two columns. Inside this column, we have a single image. Inside this column, we have text. We have image order, place order for image. We have all of these things. So let us try and achieve this now. So let's save the image. Let's try and achieve it. So what we are doing now is we are creating a section with two columns, and then we need a space up there. Let's add a space immediately. Let us forget that. I'm copying that same spacer and putting it inside this place. So this is our two columns. We need an image placeholder. Let's drag an image placeholder. Let's choose that image that we just downloaded. Okay, that is the image. Depending on the file size, it can be slow and it can be fast. But it is advisable for you to use a lesser file size. You can save your files as SVG or any other file size that you think is lesser, but don't allow the quality to reduce. So we just have our image. Now we want to achieve this card. This is what we call a card. You can see it has shadow. It is like popping up. It pops out like it is standing out. So this is what we call a card. Let me say an example. Okay, these are cards too. You can see two cards here. We are still going to do this, but the reason why I didn't start from this beginning is because I don't want us to. I want us to understand what sections and columns are before going into all of this that may seem complex to you. So what we want to do now is we want to achieve this. Let's just we already know this is what this is. Let's just copy out the image. We already have this column here. So the only thing we want to do right now is just to drag our heading to inside that heading, drag our heading, we insert it inside. Don't worry about the color, we'll deal with all of those. Now we have, okay, it's not even an heading, uh, it's a paragraph. Yeah, let's just add a paragraph. It's not an heading. Let's delete that. Let's add text editor. All we need to do is to increase the font size. Okay, you can check for the font size being used here. Come to your Word font, over on it. So the font size being used here is size 18, and the weight is 400. So you can easily use that. Let's easily apply that size 18, 18 of Inter, and the weight is 400. So we leave it at 400. Yeah, we have that ready. Then we also have this. Let's copy. So this is Inter. For you to uh, for you to understand what font they use, so you need to check the font. Inter, and let's check the size of this. Okay, this is size 16. The weight is 400. Yeah, let's go ahead. And then what you can do here now is add an heading and then type in your apostrophe and then come to your typography, change it to Inter. Can you see? Change it to Inter, size 16. Okay, so we've been able to add all of this text now. So the next thing we want to do is to add this logo. Let's just download the logo, save image. Let's just download the logo. So at this stage, what are we going to do? How do we add the logo here? Anyone? Can anyone try?
We should insert an image now.
Okay,
We'll
we should
drag and
insert.
drop the logo.
Okay, yeah. So what we are going to do is to drag an image. You can drag an image here, but you need a space, so you can even copy this space and paste. If you paste, so it will come under. Now we want to add that image that we just saved, that logo. You can see that the uploading was fast because the file is a very small one. But now the image is smaller to what we have here. So at this stage, what you're going to do is to change the image size from large to thumbnail. You can see, and also change the position. So it's as simple as that. You may decide to change it to medium size. If you want a lesser one, change it to medium size. And if you even want it to be more smaller than this, you can decide to, let's see if we can drag inner section. You can decide to bring in inner section and then drag your image inside one of the sections. So it means you can have sections inside section. If you also want this image to be smaller, you can duplicate this section. Or okay, let me show you the fastest route. You can decide to give this column, give it 30, then it means this other column will carry 70. It's a complete section has 100 width. So if you give under this section now, we have two columns. So if this first one is carrying 30, then it means the second one will carry 70 because it has to be 100 all through. But then if you give this one, on default, both are 50-50. If you give this one 60, it means this other one will automatically carry what? 40. So that way you can resize whatever you want to do. So let's give this 30 because we want it to be small. We want it to look like this. Let's give it 30. Let's give it 30. Yeah. And this carries 70. So now we have the text normal, and then we want it to look like this. We want it to have this card to pop up like this. So what we're going to do now is come over to the column, come to your style, come to border. What you want to add is a border shadow. Click on border shadow. Can you see you now have a shadow? So you now have a shadow. And then what you now want to do with the shadow is try to adjust either the blur, you know, whichever way you want it to look like. You can adjust the spread, the more you want it to show. And then you can also decide to give it corner. You can see this is not sharp. Okay, let's you can see the edges are not, the edges here are sharp. While the one we are trying to build, the edges are not sharp, they are slightly curved. So what you want to do now is to add border radius. That is the radius. You want to add radius to it, make it curve. So just click on this, and then that way the more radius you give to it, the more curve it becomes. Now you can see we have a curve one, but there's an issue. The text are closer to the border. So what you want to do again is you want to add padding. So at this stage, I will explain to you what padding means. Padding and margin. This is where we get to understand what padding and margin means. Padding is the space between text, between elements inside a column. These are elements, these are elements, these are elements, these are elements inside a column. So the space between each of those elements inside the same column is what we call the padding. So you can either increase or reduce it. Now, the space between a section and another section, or the space outside your sections, is what we call the margin. So let us try to increase. I want you to see how margin works. This is a section. I just click on this section now. I want to increase the margin top so that you can see the different how far it will go from this section, and then that way you can understand what's margin. So I'm just going to unlock this so that you can be able to do it individually. Now I'm going to increase. Can you see? I'm increasing the top margin. So the way I'm increasing it, that margin is increasing. So let's take it back to zero. Zero. Can you see? Now, what if we do minus 100? Minus 100. Can you see? Uh, okay, let's take it down. Sort of up. Can you see now? So you are reducing the margin. We just reduce the margin. Now I am increasing the margin. So normally the margin is supposed to be, we left it at we met it at 0. So let's leave it that way. But what we want to do now is we want to reduce the padding, that is content inside the column. We want to give it, we want to do, we need space. We want to have a space between the content inside the column and the border of the column. So what we're going to do is to simply add padding. Okay, sorry, we are not adding the padding to the section, but rather we are adding it to the column. So click on the column itself, and begin to add your padding. Now, can you see? We just added padding. Now, you will observe that this is longer. This seems to be longer. Let us see what went wrong. Why is it longer? Okay, let's try to create another section. It's probably due to the image or something. Okay, top minus. I think there's something making the image now. Yeah. So all we need to do at this stage is to work on the image. Yeah, it's to work on the image. Try to reduce the image. Let's try to center. You can decide to, bring it. I think I'll need a more larger one. Yeah, more larger one. So it's all about, because we actually saved the image from this website, and not like we have the raw one. Okay, let me try and log into this website and see if we can I can get the real image out. But sorry, I wouldn't like you to see my login details for this website. I would like you to but in any case. Okay, where now you see how to create that particular section. So because we have this image longer, that is why you also have this longer here. Now, what else do we want to do? What else do we want to do? Yeah, we want to do this last section, and then also I know you want to know how this counter is being done. So let's just do the last section, and then we can. Okay, because this last section has a background space, and it also has, what's it called? It has all of these things. So we would like to work on this last section. So let's do that. All you need to do is, let's copy. We may not be able to. Let me see if we can download this image. If not, then we will need to use another image as our background. So we're creating a new section. Creating a new section, a single section. Within the space, drag your space there, and then we need a text and header. Drag it there. Once we just copy it, paste it. We also need this. So because we already have it written somewhere here, not to waste time, let's just copy it. This book cleaning service, just copy it and paste. Can drag it up. Drag it up. You need a space between them. So let's add the space. Yeah. Okay. This, so then we need to create. We need to copy this and then also add our button. Sorry. Let's use um. Let's use a text editor. Text editor. We need we need this space. We need to reduce this space. Copy the space. Put a space inside here. We also need another space after this. Paste. So now within the button, within the button, what is the color of the button? The color of the button is blue. So come to style, color, change the color of the button, find that blue, change it to blue. What do we have written inside the button? Learn more. Now, change that, go to content of the button, change this, click here to, then that is where you get to change the content. So the link of the button, where do you want the button to go to? If you want it to go to that website, any link, just put the link inside this place. But for now, because we don't have any link, just add hash, leave it as hash. Yeah. So we have this. Now we want to add a background image, just like we have here. Want to add a background image. Let's just add one of these images. Yeah, let's just use one of these images. Let's just use one of these images. Come to style, click on this section, then come to style, background type. What kind of background do you want? You want the classic one. The classic one is one that allows you to add image, shows image. So let's select. We don't need to upload again. We can simply select from the ones we've uploaded. So let's select. Now we just selected a file. Can you see? So, but it is not yet looking like what we want, right? So now we want to change this to white. Since we have white here, and we want to also make it bold. Let's check their font size, their font weight and size 72 600. So we also want to do that here. Let's change this to white 72, and then what's the weight? 600. Yeah, good. And you see, we need a space before that bespoke cleaning service. We need a space, so we're adding our spacer, and then we also need a space after this learn more button. We just added that. Now another thing we need to do, we need to change this for the contrast to be clear. We need to change this from that color to white. What else do we need to do? So if you want the image, the background image to be more darker, you can decide to add an overlay. So just come to your section, and then come to background overlay. So just play around all of these tools, all of these things. You can easily, do a lot with it. And then come to color, add black. Can you see it becomes darker? So how dark do you want it to become? You can either reduce the opacity or increase the opacity. Now the opacity is in 1, completely dark. So reduce it, bring it to 0. Let's say 0.59. You can use 0.6. So that way you are able to. So we've successfully built this section. If you have any question on this, please ask now. Now we can update. Let's update and see. I feel like we should increase this spacer. Let's use something like 100. And then also here, let's use like 100 too.
Sir,
Okay,
sir, sir, please, how do you break the text?
break the text. Let me understand that question properly. Okay, break the text like you want. Do you mean how this clean look came down?
Yeah, like how can you break it? If I want that dirty properties
Okay,
to
okay.
be on
Now,
another line.
now this is where you get to learn some basics, basic HTML. If you want to do, if you want to add, you want to break it down, you need to add uh, this code br. Just add br. Can you see this down? Br means break. If you want to italize, just add I. Can you see? And if you want the italic to stop here, add this. So these are basic, just basic HTML. So, but you may not really need all of those. But then, if it's some, if you need a function, you need to do something that you don't know. Just come to Google and say, Google, how can I, how can I break a text on in HTML? Yeah. So you can see, use this tag. So if you copy that, bring it to that place where you want to break. Let's say, okay, let's say you want to break from properties. Just paste it inside. Can you see the same function? But if you don't know, which is not this one I'm saying is not advisable. This is the best method. But if you don't know code at all, you don't even want to do anything code, you can say, okay, you want to break it, fine. Copy it from you want to break it from dirty properties. Just say Control X, copy it, duplicate the duplicate it, and then put it. That is if you don't even want to do any code at all. So, but there's no way gradually you begin to learn little HTML tags. But it is not as if you cannot do anything without, you can do anything you want to do without those HTML. But it makes your work very fast when you are able to just easily do when you are able to just easily add BR where you want to break. So I hope you are clear with that.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that is for that. What's the time now? It's almost 10 o'clock. So what I want us to do now, so in just few minutes, can you see what we have been able to develop? We have been able to develop this page. Eh, So if you are planning of having a page where you can have videos, you can have audios, now you know how to do all of those things. Where you can have testimonials, all of those, now you know how to do all of those things. So this is this website we are developing is for someone in Canada. It could be a very big company, CP's Mobile Watch. So you can imagine that what they have is what we are just restructuring within few minutes. So I would like us to deal with this on another day because I would like to teach us how to do all of these animations on there's a plugin we use. So please research how to do that plugin. I will not tell you now. I want it to be an assignment for you. Research the plugin that you use to build um, an animated hero section. Plugins used for animated hero section. So what we want to do now is let's quickly build this section before we round up for tonight. Let's quickly build that section. We're going up. So what we're going to do is add a new section. So how many columns? How many columns are we creating?
Three columns.
Okay, three columns. And then how many elements are we going to have inside? Inside each of the columns.
Two elements.
Okay, two, please
You
explain
have
to us.
three.
Okay, let the person who said two explain to us first why it is two.
Okay, there are three. There are three. We have the look, the picture, and then the
Icons.
title and the body.
Okay, we call this picture. Why we call all of these things icons? So let's deal with that. Let's deal with that. Let me see if we can save, if it's possible for us to save this icon. Okay, we can't save it, so we'll need to add it. Right now, I'm going to, oh, okay, so we are adding three columns. We already have the three columns, but we need a space. Let's add our space first. Okay, let's copy the same space, copy it and paste it inside this place. Yeah, so we already have that space. So we want to add, don't forget what we are doing. We want to add icon, add an heading, and also add a paragraph. So let me just copy this. The first thing to add is an icon. So simply come back here to, you can search. If you don't want to start finding that tool that you need, you can just type icon. Can you see? Just type icon. In fact, you can even use icon box. See, the difference between using icon box and then using ordinary icon is that icon box will give you just a single element that will contain all of these things. Why when you use ordinary icon will only give you just a box that will contain just this icon alone. It will not give you access to all of this. So you need to drag heading, drag uh, text editor, that is your paragraph, inside to get this one done. But when you have lots of jobs on you and you want to be fast, it makes sense when you just use icon box. Can you see what an icon box is? So icon box now gives you that structure. All you need to do is find that icon that you want to use. Just find any icon. Agriculture. So let's just find something that's similar to agriculture. Agriculture. Okay. Farming. Okay. Just find something similar. Just find something that represents what you are trying to show. Just find anything. Just find anything, and just for the purpose of this class. Now input your commercial watching. Copy your text. Put it inside and see. Now go to your style. Change the primary color. You can change it to black. This is for the icon, but we want it to be on blue. It's on blue. Now come to the content. You want to edit the color of the content. Change the color of the title. This is the title, the commercial washing. Change it to black, just like we have in the template. And then you can change the one for the description, which is the text, to a light gray. You see? Now you have, but you don't have the box yet. So you have that. So, but if you feel what you want to do, you don't want to use the icon box, you want to have them separately, then search for icon. We want to build this now with, if you don't want to use icon box, search for icon, drag icon first. Now search for okay, you can find your icon now. Agriculture wash. Because of our time, I will have, there's a way you can download those icons. If you don't have it on this dashboard, you can find your icon. If you go to icon, there's a website, icons8.com. You can easily find any icon that you want. Let's say we want farm. So you can easily find any icon that you want. Can you see? You have lots of icons here. So you can see you even have this icon that I used there, but because of our assignment not going, you can easily download them from icon 8 and then just come over here to upload. So let's just find an icon. Just for this class, let's just use any icon. Okay, I'm using that leaf. Now we also want to add, I just want you to see the difference between using the icon box and the normal rows. so that you can know which is faster and which is more preferable. Now you can add your heading. That is, if you want to build this manually yourself, add your heading. You also need, you can even see it is not gets aligned. So you need to start doing all those alignments, all of those things, start adding spaces, and then that is not working smart. Also copy this. What you want to add now is your text box. Add your text box. See, then you want to centralize it, change it to center. You also want to centralize this, click on it, come to, you can do alignment here, change it to center. We need space so that it can look exactly like this. So come back to your element, select your spacer, give it a space. It's too wide, reduce it. Copy that same space, paste it, click on it and paste. So you have that space. You want to change this to black. Simply change it to black. You want to change this color to blue, click on it, come to style, that is, you want to style it, and simply change it to blue. So if you don't want to waste your time doing all of these things, you can easily duplicate. So you can duplicate that column, duplicate, and delete this empty one, delete it. So you have your 3 columns. So once you duplicate now, all you need to do is start filling in the details. So let's just quickly do that. Residential washing. Residential washing. Residential washing. Let's copy the details. Okay. Just for the purpose of the class, we can even leave it. What went wrong? Sorry, I think I pressed something. I don't want that to waste our time. Wow. I need to copy that again. Okay. So we have all of these icons. So let's change the icon of this to, I think we have something like home or out there. Okay, I think we have something like this. Residential washing. So just like that. So the next thing we want to do is we want to add this pop-up shadow. We want to turn it into a card. We call these cards. So what are we going to do? Where are we going to? Anyone? We've done it. Just the same thing we did here. So who's going to tell us? What are we doing next? Okay, because of our time, we want to now style each of the cards. We now have 3 columns. Inside, this is a section. All of this now is a section. And we have 3 columns. So we want to style the 3 columns separately. So we're going to do that. You click on the column itself that you are styling. If you want to click on this column, you click here. If you want to click on this column, you click here. So we are styling this first column. You now come to style. That is, you want to style it. You want to give it style. Instead of writing CSS in the normal writing HTML. So let's see that if what we've written here is HTML. You don't want to give it CSS and give it style. So all you need to do is click on box shadow, give it box shadow. Can you see? And then yeah, I don't like it to be too sharp. Okay, let's just leave it that way. And then you now want to add border radius. That is, you want the edges to curve. Let's add border radius in such a way that you can see it clearly. Now you can see it is there. So if you do the same thing for, now I want you to see something. If you do the same thing for all of these things, it means you need to start just the way you style this. You also need to style this. Also need to style. But if you don't want to give yourself that stress, just copy the style. You can easily copy the style that you give to this column, you can copy it and also paste it to reflect across board. So just copy it, come to this column and also paste. Okay, sorry, I meant to paste. Can paste style. Can you see paste style? Paste style. But something is wrong. Can anyone tell us what is wrong? There's something wrong on
Yeah,
this section.
There's no
the
space.
spacing.
It is what? The spacing.
There's no space.
Spacing.
Very good. Very good. So how many spacing are we? How many areas has spacing problem? The space between each of
The,
the cards, one. Then the space even
yes,
inside around the
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 border.
columns. So if we are spacing the space if you are giving space to the two columns, what are we going to use? Margin or padding? We want to give space to the two columns for them to separate. What are we adding? Margin or padding?
Pardon.
Pardon.
No.
No, no.
Margin.
Margin.
Yeah.
Padding
Margin
is
is
within.
the space outside. The space outside that's your column or your section. Why padding is the space inside. So if you want to give space to all of this content now, so that you can have room, to round it, then you are using padding. But you want to give space outside this card. So what we are using is margin. So what we want to do now is let us add margin. Come to advanced. Now we want to add margin. Can you see now? So you have that space. Now let us add padding. If you want to add padding, you can also click on the same this thing and say you are adding padding. So now you have padding. So you can see this card now looks different from these other ones. If you don't want to waste your time, copy the style again, copy, click on copy and paste it across the columns. Paste style, paste style. So that way you're not wasting time. Can you see now? Is it making sense?
Yeah.
Now you will realize an error, and that error is from the fact that here in this one we used icon box. Why we customize this from the scratch by adding our column, adding our heading, so it looks so you have lesser control over how it looks. But then the only thing you can do here now, let's assume we still want to maintain this. What you can do is to come to style and probably come to your typography and you want to increase it, to be able to look exactly like, that. So, but I will advise that we delete this. So just duplicate one of these, duplicate, and let me find what is the name of what we use there. It's like align. Okay, we use align. So just change this to so that way you can easily. It is better for you to use the same style across board. So we use a9. You see, and then this is commercial. Let's just change that so that we remain consistent. Then we have the washing, copy it and paste. So now we can delete this. So it now they all look even. So now let me now teach you one very fast. Instead of us building all of these things, uh, changing the style, copying style, pasting style, all of those things, the best thing to do, I'm going to duplicate it, is first create. Assuming you have a new section. We need three sections. Assuming you've only successfully created this a section. Hold on. Now, assuming what the best thing to do is for you to build one column, first. Have all your styles, what you want it to look like, the margin, the padding, the colors, everything. Have it set inside one column. So it is that one single column you will now start doing what you duplicate it into three. One, duplicate again, two, and delete all of these other empty, columns. You still have the same results, but your works become very fast. So that way you can undo you can even undo a website, complete it from beginning to the end in a day. Imagine now we've been able to complete a whole page within how many hours? We've just spent 2 hours and 4 minutes on this meeting. But it is because I'm teaching, that is why it is even slow. Assuming I'm doing this, I won't spend more than 30 minutes to be sincere. Because I'm not teaching anybody, I already know what I want to do. I'm just doing it directly. So it's as then the next thing you want to start doing is start copying your, maybe from your Microsoft Word document. You now want to start copying your content and then start filling them in. So let's do this off. That is for that. So do you have any question on this card that we just finished? That is how to build a card. Let's check our main website and see if it is reflecting. Just come to preview. Now we can see we now have it here. Yeah, we now have it set here. This is what we've been able to build tonight. So any question? Now there's one very important thing. We were able to build this page simply because we have the content somewhere on a web. We are trying to build a demo content. We have it somewhere. But in a situation whereby a client gives you the job, just a raw idea, and says, "Oh, I need to my business does this, does that. Please, can you help me build a website?" You request for content. No, he wants you to take care of it, even though you're going to charge that person. It is part of your duty to charge. One very important thing you need to know is content development. You need to understand how to, craft out compelling content for your clients, how to help the client analyze the services, where this is going to be, what are you going to write here, content writing. So if you are starting out like this, like you're just coming up, I wouldn't advise you to throw out that money by finding content writer and say, "Oh, please help me write content, take 100,000, take 50,000." Whereas you yourself, the total money amount you are getting on the website you're developing is maybe 400, 500, and you're throwing out 100,000 for content. So it's very good for you to also know how to write content, because in a day you are through with it, and that 100,000 comes to your pocket. So it means if you are able to just catch one single client that is giving you a website, you develop the website, you get the money. You write content for the person, you get the money. You also do, after the website, you do presentation of design, just little design, just to show that, okay, there is a website. So, and you're able to, and from there, on a monthly basis, you begin to update the website. You charge that person for monthly updates. So once you have a single client, you can be servicing that client for years and getting management fee every. Let me show you what management fee means before we leave this meeting. It's one of the things I said I was going to show you guys. I'm going to my website, testdigital.com. Yeah, let me just go straight up to that website. I want to show you what. Okay, it's still loading. Yeah, so let's go to resources, trainings. No, website management service. So let's click on website management service. Now you can see, let's help manage and market your website. So after developing, I said getting your website up and running is a great first step towards building an online presence for your brand and business. However, once your website is live, your job is not done. So when the website design is done, the copy is composed, and your website has done, someone needs to be responsible for its ongoing maintenance. That is why you charge that person for maintenance of website. And guys, let me tell you, there's nothing you are doing in maintenance. Maybe just to update plugins if it's expired, update if there's new updates, troubleshoot. If there's any problem, just help the person to troubleshoot. If there's any, you attend to it. In a month, you are not attending to anything more than twice or three times in a week, and you are getting how much? 74,000 per month on a single client. So if you have 10 clients, just say you're just coming up and you have 10 clients, how much is that for you in a month? You're getting 740,000 naira from a single every month from website management. So it means once you have a client, hold that client very well, do a very good job, and that way that person will be willing to subscribe to your management service so that you can keep managing the website. And you can have plans just like myself. Have plans. Okay, this is for this because this includes marketing. That is why you have this one 48,000. Now, some people love to. In fact, I have clients that the one they love is the one that gives them that allows them to pay quarterly. That is, they're going to be paying four times in a year, and they are paying 370,000. So if a client is paying this for you four times in a year, and you have just 20 or 10 paying this for you, you know what that means? That is more than just your VC vice chancellor's salary, and you are not doing anything again. It's a job you've once done in the past. So in essence, what I'm telling you is that learn how to multitask as a developer. Learn how to come up with content easily. And let me tell you something, this stage that you are is a stage where you need to invest on yourself. Um, I'll I'll send you a link to a book that can really teach you and guide you everything you need to know about crafting content that sell. It is the kind of content you provide for your client on their website that will make them feel like, oh, I want to subscribe. Oh, you need to keep helping me manage. Oh, you understand this business, then we can be together on this radar. You can always assist me with marketing and all of those because you understand the business. So you need to understand how to write company content that sell. On the group, I'm going to share you a link to a book that can really assist you. 100% guide on copywriting, writing copies that sell. So I'll share that link with you on the group so that you can have access to that. So that is because you need it. You realize that apart from images, the next important thing on the website are content. The content of the website. Very easy. So based on what we've done tonight, any question, please? Any question?
Sir,
Okay.
sir, please, what's the maximum number of fonts you can use to design a website?
Fonts, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you join our first class?
Yes.
Okay. I sent you a document that talks about the design psychology. Were you able to go through that document on the group? The
No,
psychology of
sir.
design. Okay. The reason for asking that question is because I want to be sure if you've gone through psychology of design. Yeah. If you're working on a website, see, less is more. Or how did they used to say, less is more? Yeah. The lesser the less fonts and colors you use on your website, the more unique and professional it looks. The maximum you can use is don't go more than two, and even let the major ones be one. The major ones should be the same fonts. All the headings, let them be consistent with your headings. See, all of these headings, you can use the same font for all your headings, the same font for all your headings. All the headings, they should be in the same font, all the headings. And you can use a similar one with for the paragraphs. Are you getting it now? So don't use more than two fonts and use fonts that are similar, except for special sections. Maybe you want to have cursive fonts, but it's on rare cases. So if you want to use it, in fact, it is very much advisable to use a single font on a website, but you can go to the extent of using two that are similar, and for depending on the kind of design you are doing. So if you read more on the design psychology or do more a little of UI UX design, you understand more about this. So, but for now, based on to just answer your question, don't use more than two, maximum two, maximum, and don't use cursive fonts as heading. You want your client to be able to read easily. You want it to be readable. You don't want them to start straining their eyes because they can understand what nobody has time for all of this. Don't forget you are trying to get them to buy something or to patronize a service. So you don't want to stress them. So give them a font that is easily readable. Take for example, look at Borderless Skills website. Easily you can read through. And if you look at this website, you realize that we don't have more than, in fact, I think we have just one single font all through. The only thing is that you can begin to have different variations of that font, like changing the weight, the size. This one is bolder, so it means it has a different weight than this. Yeah, it's also bigger, which means it has a different size than this, and still the same fonts. So all of this, the same font, but different font sizes and different font weights. Can you see here? Because this is the heading, we are having a bolder one. Let's use our word fonts. Enter. This is this has 800 weights. Style is normal. Size is 40. Let's look at this. Let's look at this other one. Okay, this has 16 pixel as size normal. Weight is 400. Why the weight for this one is 800? So that is just okay. Let's look at the size of this. Can you see? The size of this is 12. Why the size of this is 16? Why the size of this bigger one is 40? That is just the simple way you can use a single font on your website, and it will look beautiful. It will look good. So another thing you can do, can you see this font is the same font, but the way you use the weight, this is a lighter version. Lighter, this just see the same font. So don't complicate your website with lots of fonts. Don't complicate with lots of fonts. I hope we're clear on that.
Yes, sir.
All right. So thank you so much